Hi everybody, welcome to Aimee Nolte Music. I'm getting frustrated because I keep having lessons with new people who tell me that they really want to work on improvising. And I ask them a question. Usually I ask them, let me just find out a little bit about what you know, and I'll say, can you play me a D minor chord? And they'll do this. And I'll say, good. Can you play me an A flat major chord? And they do this. And I'll say, can you play me a C6 chord? And they'll do this. I'll say, good. Okay, now can you just play me the melody to Happy Birthday? And they look at me kind of like I'm nuts. And I say, you can start on whatever note you want. Maybe a G would be the easiest. And then they can't do it. I'm a little bit baffled by this because when I was very young, this is the first thing that I did at the piano. I was 3 the first time I sat down in front of a piano that I can remember, I think. And the very first thing I did was to play the melody to Silent Night. And I did it on black keys. And I tried another black key here, but it didn't work. And, so I figured it out. And I remember calling my mom over and saying, Mom, look what I did. And then she knew it was time to get me lessons. But after that, all I wanted to do until I got lessons was figure out melodies. And that's just kind of what grew inside of me organically somehow. And I didn't realize that it's a thing that people skip. And that's troubling to me. A lot of times people will say, well, Aimee, if we're going to play an A minor chord, what notes do I solo with? And, I can give the answer, A Dorian, and you can play these notes. And anytime you hear or play over an A minor chord, you can play any of those notes and they'll sound fine. But if I play the A minor chord and I ask you to sing me an F sharp, can you do it? Oh. Can I ask you to think about a note in A minor? Can you hear one of them? Maybe it's this one. Can you actually hear it in your head? Oh, and then know that it's a B and play it. This kind of thing is so important because I can tell you A Dorian all day. I can tell you D Lydian. If you want to play over a D major scale, you can play D Lydian. And there's a time for scales. I have many, many videos about scales. There's a time for it, and it's important to be a good player, to know your scales. But if you want to have some kind of feeling in your playing, you have to be able to know what your note is going to sound like before your finger hits it. And the only way I know how to do that is to play melodies by ear. So if I say to play Happy Birthday and start on a G, I wonder how many of you can do it. I wonder if this skip right here would throw you for a loop. I wonder if you would choose that note or not. A lot of you probably could, and a lot of you probably can't. I've told this story before too, I think, but I was at a jazz camp with all ages of kids, all the way through senior in high school, and I asked them, any of them, if they could come up and play Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on the piano starting on a G, and I demonstrated it for them. I just wanted one of them to be able to come up and do it. And I said that it didn't even have to be the piano. It could be their clarinet or their trumpet or their trombone or whatever their instrument was. I just wanted to hear Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And I thought I'd get all kinds of hands going up, but I didn't get any hands. I got a lot of very scared faces, and it made me rethink a lot of stuff. Maybe you heard my interview with Steve Call the other day. Steve said that one of the biggest disservices we do to kids in jazz education these days, and I think I would even broaden that to just music education in general, is that we either show them notes on a page, teach them how to play them with their fingers or their mouth, or, that's just broad music education, and that's about all we do, or in a jazz education, we show them an A minor chord and we tell them that they can play A Dorian over that. And what we get out of that are players that can play quickly and players that can play patterns, players that know what to play over any chord, like they get it, that can't play you Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in the key of C at the drop of a hat. I know that it's kind of a shortcut. I know that educators can say, play A Dorian over an A minor chord and get really quick results with their kids, but it's not the kind of results that I think are good to seek after. And if somebody can't play Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or Happy Birthday on their instrument by ear, I will never even tell them the word Dorian or A minor. It's backwards. It's no good. If you want to play A Dorian for days, you can. And you might impress some people, but can you play this beautiful idea in A Dorian? Do di da da do da da do e. Can you do that? Can you come up with something in your mind, in your soul, in your heart, something that's you, that you hear and then duplicate? That is improvisation. That's what we're looking for. It's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for patterns over scales. You could program a computer to do that if you wanted to, right? You could. And a computer could play you random ideas, even with patterns, over A minor, and just play A Dorian, and you'll get something, right? You'll get something, but it's not going to be human. And I'm looking for human when I'm looking for music. When I want music, I want it coming from the person playing it. I don't want it coming from an exercise or a theory or a concept. If I seem a little frustrated, I am, because I think I've been preaching this for nearly 2 years, and I still get people coming to me thinking that they know a lot of stuff, and when I ask them to do this very simple thing, they can't do it. And I don't think it's any fault of their own. I think it's the fault of educators, the people that are feeding us music from the time that we're 3 and 4 and 5 years old. Before you get lessons, your parents teach you to sing. That is like the most important education that anybody can have, is to learn to sing right from the beginning. Then, if you introduce an instrument to a kid and say, what song do you like? And maybe the kid says, I like Yellow Submarine. You say, all right, let's see if you can play that. You put their finger on a note. It could be any note. Maybe it's a D. You show them. Have you ever noticed the first 3 notes of Yellow Submarine are the same? We all live. You put their finger on that D. Have them do it. Does it go up or down after that? We all live in a... Is that up or down? Well, it's up. All right, so let's go right. You start with them like that, especially if they have trouble. A lot of kids, if they've got a really good, knack for it right from the beginning, they'll be pretty quick and they'll surprise you. But if not, you have to slow it down a little bit and stop and talk about what is up, that's to the right, and what is down, it's to the left. Or if you're on a different instrument, whatever it means, adding more fingers, taking away less fingers. But that's the root of it. Sit at your instrument with me right now, and in the key of C major, what if we take It's a Small World, right? Most people have been to Disneyland or somewhere. They've heard that song going round and round and round and round as you go round and round. Yeah, let's try that one. It goes like this. It's a world of laughter, a world of tears, right? First note, da. So you got to find that. It's a world of have to make a choice here. You have to make a skip. You might guess wrong. Okay. It's a world of la, la, la. It's a world of laughter, a world of tears. Uh-oh, another big skip. That's very low. That's how you have to do it if it's hard for you. You have to do it little by little. And that's what I do with people who can't do this right at the beginning. I make them go really slowly. And after there's a skip and then they nail it and they want to keep going on, I say, go back to the beginning. You got to do it again. And then you remember it and you do it. And then after you've done the song all the way through, I say, let's do another song. And then we pick another one. No sense in doing the same one over and over again. You need something that you already know to regurgitate. That is how you start to make the connection between soul and fingers or mouth, as the case may be, between what's in your head and what is going to come out on your instrument. I have another video about this called my top secret practice method, and it's called Point and Sing, where I teach you that you can just point to a note and try to sing it, and then you check every now and then, and you make a skip sometimes, and you check it. Anyway, here's the card above my head. You can see that video if you want to. This is another great way to practice being able to connect. And I just want to challenge everybody to please, if you feel like you're a robot sitting at your instrument, like you're just playing scales over chords and you don't even know why, back up a step for me. Go back to when you were just a little kid. Go back to melodies. And then you're going to understand. You're going to know why an A Dorian scale works over an A minor chord. You're going to know it because you can hear it already. And then you can take all of those notes, all 7 of them, and you can start to have a better guess about which one is going to come out when you put your fingers on your instrument. A minor. It's beautiful. Da 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 woo do be woo do da 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 la da 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 da. And you can play something meaningful, something that people can connect with. That's the point. I'll see you next time on Aimee Nolte Music.